and thank you, everyone. Welcome to the Calvin Dean Show. Man, what a draft. This is the post-draft show. Yes, the post-draft show. We're going to go over some stuff that was going on in the draft. I mean, really, Caleb Williams going number 1. Jaden Daniels number 2. I called it. I did call J.J. McCarthy going to the New England Patriots. Yeah, but I also said that Drake May would go number 4, and I thought there would be a trade down. But if all the teams listened to me, they would have gotten what they wanted. But, obviously they didn't. And then Marvin Harrison, the Cardinals, number 4, and I did predict Joe Alt going to the Chargers, number 5, and that was a pretty easy one, I thought. Malik Neighbors going to the Giants, then offensive tackle, of course, the Tennessee Titans, they needed it. But the biggest blunder, guys, beyond even some sort of, I just don't get it. I don't get it. I mean, the Atlanta Falcons. Help me out on this one. I don't get it. Okay. What you have to understand, this draft was the COVID baby draft. Okay. The majority of all the players going into the NFL from this draft are going to be 24, 25 when they start playing, right? Michael Penix Jr., next month, actually this month, right? May, he will be 24, right? So the Atlanta Falcons pick him up on, it was the stupidest trade I've ever seen in my whole entire life. Oh my God. I mean, what were they thinking? Here they just get Kirk Cousins, right? Kirk is 35 years old, right? A lot of the quarterbacks these days are going, to playing in their 40s. Look at Tom Brady. Look at Aaron Rodgers. I mean, seriously, guys, they're going on and on and on, and he's got 5 years in him, easy, 4 or 5 years, easily 4, right? The Falcons sign Kirk Cousins. He's a drop back passer. He passes in the pocket. He's not a runner, so the whole Achilles tendon injury. I mean, he can come back, but I mean, the thing of it is that I just don't get it. I don't get the whole trade. The Atlanta Falcons selection of Michael Penix Jr. at number 8 overall. 6 weeks signing. Kirk Cousins for 4 years, $180 million, $100 million guaranteed, fully guaranteed, right? And I help me out. I just don't understand. I really don't. I have no idea what they were thinking. Think about this one. Okay, so they have Mr. Cousins, right, for 4 years. 4 years, right? And for the next 5 years, the Falcons are saying, oh, we feel great about the position. We feel great. Oh, it's great, blah, 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 blah. Now, I don't understand. Of course, they're going to, say that because they feel great about the position now, since they have a great quarterback of the future. But you have to listen to this one. Ready? Like I said before the, in the beginning of the show, this is COVID baby draft, right? 24, 25. So Michael Penix is 24 this month. In 4 years, he's going to be 28, guys. 28. So as 29, if the tea leaves are going to, be in front of you, 29, he's going to be ready to start at age 29. That means that Atlanta Falcons on a fifth-year option is going to actually have to pay a 29-year-old who hasn't started on an NFL team. Maybe he's played in preseason. He's not going to start over Kirk Cousins. I mean, you're crazy if you think that's going to happen. They just paid $180 million for Kirk Cousins. What were they thinking? Now I can understand 3 years from now, you're drafting a quarterback, going to groom him for another 2 years. So, and let's say they draft a quarterback that's like 22, right? Well, then they have 2 years, and then after Kirk is gone, they have a 24-year-old. They don't have a near 30-year-old. I mean, I just don't get and then wasting that talent of Michael Penix. I think Penix was definitely, I think he's a starter in the NFL. I really do. I think he's an amazing talent. You know, he did great at Washington the last 2 years. He was hurt before, remember, and tore 2 ACLs. But on the other hand, I think just a wasted pick. And now the agent of Kirk Cousins said that if we would have known this, we would have never, ever, ever signed a deal with the Atlanta Falcons and Kirk. They would have hopefully you guys are drinking some coffee. I am. Love coffee, guys. I just don't get it. There's a lot of people who don't get it. What a bonehead move by the Atlanta Falcons. I'm sorry. If you're an Atlanta Falcons fan, I'm sorry. Georgia. I have a friend of mine, Georgia Peach. She lives in Nebraska now. And, man, I don't know what she's thinking, her family in Georgia, what they're thinking about the Atlanta Falcons in this move. I think this is one of the stupidest moves in the history of the draft. They're going to fall flat on their face on this one. Maybe they're thinking about drafting a trade down the road for another team. Maybe that's it. But I just don't see that this pick for the Atlanta Falcons is going to be good at all. I just don't. I mean, when he's about to play, he's going to be 29 years old. And who knows if Cousins is going to be, he might be playing for another 2 years after that. Then what? They waste a talented, very, very, very talented quarterback and waste his time sitting the bench. I just don't get it. And if I was Minnesota, I would have definitely traded down to get Michael Penix. But I think Minnesota thought, we'll just wait. Atlanta's not going to pick him, and he did. I think every single analyst in football, all the NFL analysts like myself, by the way, guys, NFLshop.com. NFLshop.com. Just use football. That is my user name for a discount. It's football. And you just go there and you'll get a discount for the NFL. NFLshop.com, guys. Remember that. Now, the NFL, they told me, they said, be easy on this. I don't know how I can be easy on this. Come on now. I mean, I'm not going to go overboard on this, but for the next 5 years, the Atlanta Falcons say, we feel great about this position. Yeah, but guess what, guys? You could have listen to me. You could have drafted someone to win now. I mean, I don't get it. I just don't get it. You need a defense. Defense is where you were lacking. You were lacking on defense. You were lacking on defense. And I don't understand why you would pick, a quarterback at this moment in time, especially, I mean, you just signed Kirk Cousins. Now, I mean, it's a great backup, fantastic. The Falcons' experience since moving on from Matt Ryan with no transition informed their latest decision. That's why they did this. I think it's unsettling. Sitting there in 21, Smith said, I've never forgot sitting there with a GM, Terry, and being like, okay, well, what's our future? What's our plan for the future? How are we going to solidify down the road? And I understand that. But you haven't been a champion in the NFL. You haven't won a Super Bowl in I don't know how many years. You haven't been there since your debacle against the New England Patriots. So help me out. Help me out. I thought Kirk Cousins, getting Kirk Cousins was the answer. I mean, Kirk Cousins is a really good quarterback, guys. And if I was Kirk Cousins, I would say, why'd you guys get me? What, you draft my successor? I'm 35 years old, and you're drafting my successor already. Amazing. And the stupidest thing is his age. Because Kurt has a 4-year deal, right? I mean, 4 years. The kid won't be playing until he's 29. If they don't, keep Kirk Cousins on for another year or two. So let's just say, for shits and giggles, let's just say that Kurt stays and they're doing great and they made it to the playoffs a couple times. They maybe almost made it to the Super Bowl. They lost or something like that. But see, that's the whole thing. They're always just there. They're not even close. They needed to draft someone that a win now. Their defensive line. They needed an edge rusher. They needed a defensive tackle. I don't get it. I just don't get it. I really don't, guys. They after rolling the dice. Right? They rolled the dice with Marcus Mariota, right? Desmond Ridder, Taylor Heineke. But Desmond Ridder was, he wasn't the premier. He wasn't anything like, I think, he's nothing like Kirk Cousins. Those guys, nothing. Taylor Heineke's he's a backup. You got Taylor Heineke, bravo. Got Desmond Ridder, and then, I mean, Marcus Mariota, I think they're better than Desmond Ridder or Taylor Heineke, if you used him right. But Marcus Mariota is a different quarterback, He's a bruiser, runner type of quarterback. But, of course, they didn't use him right. And all the weapons that they have, Kirk Cousins fits in. Wow. But how are they going to stop the run? How are they going to... They need to solidify their defense. That's what the Atlanta Falcons need to do. They need to solidify their defense to stop the run, stop the pass, a rusher as well. But, man, it blows my mind. They guaranteed Cousins $100 million as their starter. $100 million, guys, guaranteed for the next 5 years. 4 years, excuse me. This is the first time, this is the first year, that we're sitting there and staring down the barrel at a player that we think can be the guy. That's what Smith said about drafting Penix. Come on. Give me a break. You guys, you just signed $100 million of Cousins and you're saying this shit? Man, I'd be so pissed if I was Cousins. I would be, you guys are jerks. true jerks, you know? I mean, the move surprised Cousins' camp. It did. NFL Network insider Mike Garafolo reported on the draft night, instead of using the number 8 pick to add a dynamic player on either side of the ball, someone who could help them chase a Super Bowl now. I said now, guys, now. Not tomorrow. Now. I mean, not 4 or 5 years from now. Now. The Falcons solidified their inevitable transition. And the decision could immediately undercut Cousins standing in the locker room. Just think about it. Still, the Falcons insist they love both quarterbacks, using the willingness to sink significant assets into the position to defend those feelings. Guys, you can try to defend it all you want. Smith, you can defend it. You're a bonehead. I would, if I was the owner of the Atlanta Falcons, I would fire Smith immediately. He'd be gone. Gone. What a bonehead move. I mean, bonehead. I mean, they were saying what was they were talking? What we did to get Kirk Cousins should tell everybody we believe in Kirk Cousins. That's what Smith said. He's our guy. We set ourselves up. Come on. I mean, you believe in that shit? That's like listening to Trump. Oh, I won the election, so I won the election. No, you didn't. These trials are fake. These trials are... No, they aren't. I mean, come on. Smith, stop blowing smoke up of everyone's butt. You made a mistake. You should be fired. End of story. Then Michael Penix. Then they draft Michael Penix. It's quarterback. A young quarterback. Young. Guy, he's 24 years old. He's not 22. He's 24. So in 4 years, he's 28. He's going to be playing at 29. If he was a young quarterback at 22, he'd be playing at 26, 27. Wow. You know, he's not. But he's not. You know? And I don't get it. You know? I just don't get it. Yeah. This isn't some Green Bay situation with Brett Favre or Aaron Rodgers, you know? And it had the sweat for, equity with the fans in the locker room. The Falcons are just putting a bullseye on Kirk Cousins before it takes a snap. You know, and then there's the opportunity to cost a top 10 player they could have. Now, it's a top 10 player, guys. You don't understand something. That's going to cost them. It's going to cost them even more money, especially a quarterback. Wow. Like I said, if I was the owner, I mean, Smith be out. He'd be done. I'd be like just firing him. Well, I guess the Chargers. I told everyone about the Chargers. I said that Harbaugh's in town. He loves to run the ball. And I just knew they were going to sit there and take Joe Alt. I just knew it, and it happened, and the tea leaves were there. And the kid is 6'8", 331 pounds. He's a monster, And then what did I say about Chicago? I thought Chicago would stay there. Now, I thought they would take, a tight end with Brock Bowers. But no. They took another wideout, Odunze. Now, he's great. I think that Rome Odunze is better than Marvin Harrison Jr. I really do. And then what happened in number 10? Minnesota stepped down. They traded down, so number 10 became J.J. McCarthy. Now, I had J.J. McCarthy going in early. Now, if you listen to my Draft 3.0 show, I think you should go listen to it. Because if these teams listen to me, then they would have had what they wanted. They would have. The Jets, of course, offensive tackle. They needed one. Fosno from Penn State. That kid is. I told everyone he's going to go. He's going to go. And Bo Nix. Bo Nix went to Denver. Oh my God. And then Denver picked up his wide receiver too. Smart. Brock Bowers, number 13, goes to the Las Vegas Raiders. Wow, that's a huge. I thought he would go sooner than 13. But man, that's a great selection for the Las Vegas Raiders. And then, of course, what I tell everyone about Derek Carr, he's on his butt all the time. What did they need? They needed an offensive tackle, and they took one, Fuga, from Oregon State. And what did Indianapolis need? I told everyone they need a corner or an edge rusher, and they picked a Latu from UCLA. So, and then Seattle, defensive tackle, of course. They need to shore that defense up. And they took Byron Murphy. Minnesota came back, and they picked, some great. I tell you guys, Minnesota, that division. I think that division is going to be awesome. I really think that division is going to be awesome. I really do. I think, Chicago's going to be awesome, especially with Roman Duze. They have Caleb Williams. They have Sanders. They have, they're stacked. DJ Moore. They have Keenan Allen. Man, they're stacked. They're stacked. So Bo Nix, Brock Bowers, and then the Seattle, and then Minnesota, an edge rusher, Dallas Turner. Wow. Good for them. Cincinnati picks up Mims from Georgia, offensive tackle. Verse, Los Angeles. Now the Los Angeles Rams, they went strictly defense. Edge rusher, Verse from Florida State. Pittsburgh, they added a big old offensive line, Fontenot from Washington, and then the Miami Dolphins, edge rusher from Penn State, Chop Robinson. Great pick. Of course, the Philadelphia Eagles, like I said to everyone, they needed a cornerback. They picked Quentin Mitchell. I thought he would go earlier than number 22, but they picked Quentin Mitchell. That's an awesome pick. Brian Thomas, the wide receiver from LSU, Jacksonville picks, right? They got rid of Ridley, so now they have Thomas. The Detroit Lions, they needed corners. I told everyone, so they took on Tyron Arnold from Alabama. The Green Bay Packers, they always draft really well. Jordan Morgan from an offensive lineman from Arizona, big guy. And then Tampa Bay took it the center, Graham Barton. I think he was the best center in the draft. Darius Robinson from Missouri went to Arizona. This is the next pick is huge. The Buffalo Bills, they traded with the Kansas City Chiefs. I told everyone the Kansas City Chiefs were going to take they're going to take Xavier Worthy from Texas, the fastest 40 speed ever. The kid is lightning. Can you believe it? They add another and he's just amazing. He's like another cheetah. And guess who has him? Kansas City. Wow. And they have Hollywood Brown, too, an off-season. I mean, they're going to be tough, guys. They're going to be really tough. Mahomes is like licking his chops on this one. And then Dallas takes an offensive tackle from Oklahoma, Guton. Baltimore, they needed another, corner from Clemson. They lost it. And then this one, Ricky Pearsall. Yes, Ricky Pearsall. Oh, my God. C.J. Stroud, if you're watching the draft, C.J. Stroud went nuts. He was like, "Oh no, they took Ricky." That was his favorite wide receiver. The kid is just wow. And they took him because Deebo Samuels is a question mark for the San Francisco 49ers. And Ricky Broussard is like this amazing wide receiver from Florida. Wow, congratulations. And then the last pick of the first day was with Carolina. They picked another wideout, Xavier Legette from South Carolina. So, wow. That is the post-draft review that I did for the first round. And I just had to go off on the Atlanta Falcons. I think everyone else had to do the same. Guys, thank you so much for listening to my show. I really appreciate that from everyone. I thank you. Tune in every week. I have a show, and training camp is 2.5 weeks away. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun, guys. Thank you so much for listening. Kelvin Dean. Thank you.